I'm Andy from Fix Radio and this is
Andy from Tuff Stuff.
So we're the two Andys. He's a technical guy, he's got the brains, I've got the brawn somewhere. We've been called out to a customer's flat roof, standard felt finish, few leaks, so we're going to use the latest Tuff Tech Pro, which this man is going to tell us about. He's the expert, I'm the pretty face. So Andy, you're the technical man. Can you take us through what are the sort of first initial steps to get this set up? We've obviously got temperature to think about, We've got moisture content, it's a little bit wet because we've had rain. Where do you start? What do you want to get to before we start actually working on it?
So basically there's a few parameters that we've got to adhere to with these roofs. We need the roofs to be clean and we need them to be as dry as we can possibly get them. Polyurethanes will take a little bit of moisture but not too much. So today we're going to use probably a leaf blower, maybe a wet vac on this because the sun's moved around out of sight now. So once we've got this roof swept, clean, dried, we can start addressing all the edge details and any little defects we've got on the roof. We know that the felt trim drip edges are in pretty poor state, so we're cutting those off. We're going to replace those with our GRP trims, part of the Tuff Stuff GRP range. It's compatible with our product. So we're just going to replace them with that. There are a couple of flashing details. We've got a mushroom vent there. We've got to go round. So we're just going to work our way through that basically. Once all this preparation work is done, we're going to bring the chop strand mats up here. We're going to cut them to size. It's much easier to cut them while they're dry than when they're wet. So we'll cut them all to size, mark them, put them to one side. And then basically we're going to bring the buckets up, open the buckets, stir them, and we're ready to lay. And what we want to do is we want to roll the mat out so that we know we've got the right lengths as we come across our roof. I'm just going to cut this nice and straight. This is going to be our finished edge of our waterproofing, and I want to overlap the mat by a minimum of 60 mil. So now we're just going to repeat the process. The mat has what we call a frayed edge and a square cut edge. So we always want to try and put the frayed edge on top of the square cut edge so it just helps feather out the joint. So now we'll basically apply our flashing detail up underneath that existing lead flashing. So we're going to be using the Tuff Tech Pro liquid and embedding that mat into it. And then again our pre-cut flashing strips all the way along this edge in the liquid so that we seal the trim to the deck. Once that is done all the way around the roof, then we're on to the fun bit, which is the laying of the field area.
Right, strips are cut.
Yep.
Hand tools are ready. Can you take us through what are we using and obviously next step to get this down?
Certainly. So today we're going to be using the small rollers and laminating brushes for any difficult areas that are hard to reach. On the field area, our standard GRP laminating rollers. Beauty of it is all of the tools part of our GRP range, so you haven't got to go looking for other tools. We need to give it a bit of a stir, so clean stick. Okay, so I've put the mat into place just really to get it into position so as I know where I'm coming with the liquid, because I don't want to waste it. So all I'm going to do is pull the mat back, and now I can see what line I'm running to. And then, as you can see, the liquid is going down, and we want a reasonable base layer so that when the mat goes into it, it's going to soak up into it. Once we've got that first bit of mat in, it's kind of held into place. You can see now, even with a little bit of pressure, I'm pushing that mat down into that liquid, and that's what we want to do. Not really any more on the brush or the roller, and I'm now pushing that mat down into that base coat.
So just take us through what you're doing here, Andy. We've obviously got the edge trim.
The edge trim there, and I just want to seal the edge trim to the roof, not rely on the main field area alone to do the sealing. So
it's almost like scrimming your joints when you're plastering, just making sure. Yeah.
So now we're onto the field area, which is the bit that's satisfying really. We're going to apply the liquid to this area, fold the mat back down, and we can work our way across. And all I always say is if I can write my name with a bit of finger pressure, I've got enough base coat under there.
And to finish up with, there's millions of these on the market. Why is Tuff Tech Pro so good?
Tuff Tech Pro is a very high quality polyurethane system coupled with high quality chop strand mat reinforcement. So you've got the flexibility of the polyurethane liquids once they're cured, but the strength of the reinforcing mat. And then coupled with our technical backup and support, you can't go wrong.
So really, with a little bit of training, even Sparks can do this, which to me is a minor miracle. So we're back here this morning. We've had a cold night. Andy, do you want to take us through? Temperatures dropped, humidity wasn't great. What's happened? Obviously something to bear in mind with British weather.
Yeah, basically because the roof was quite rough, it's quite a poor surface, we've used a lot of the material. So we're down a bit thicker than we would want to be. Last night, temperatures dropped, it's gone really cold, but no humidity in the air. So I don't think the dew and everything got on this till about 5 o'clock this morning. So when we've come back in this morning, it's still a bit tacky. So ideally we would go and come back another day, but we're going to get a section just done now.
So something to certainly bear in mind, especially this time of year. So we're into autumn, winter's coming up. When it is getting colder, it was about what, 3-4 degrees last night?
3-4 degrees, yeah.
It's worth bearing in mind you might not be able to jump straight on this the next day. Obviously there's no point in rushing the job because you're going to end up having to come back and redo it. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do a test piece as the sun comes around and dries the rest of it. And Andy, we've got the top coat.
We've got the top coat, which is essentially the same product we used when we were laying the base. It's all UV stable right the way through. We've stirred the product up, got our nice long roller pole, and yeah, we're ready to start putting some down.
So Andy's finishing off now. A couple of areas we're just going to let dry. We've got a little bit of finishing off to do on the front, and then this final coat's going to go over the whole roof, and you're going to now see the finished product of a Tuff Tech Pro roof with these following images.